Bonjour and welcome to my house, to my kitchen. That's my favorite place, I must say. Okay, so today we're going to cook with MAGIMIX, obviously, and today we're using the Cook Expert. We're going to use two different techniques. One's going to be the pan fry the ingredients. Also, we're going to steam fish in the same time. Today we're doing a recipe based on Harmony Day, okay? And this recipe's got a story. It's actually one of the first dishes I ate with my mother-in-law about 30 years ago when I met her. And I went with my wife to her house, and she cooked this salmon chutney, a spicy salmon chutney that you eat with some crusty bread. So the ingredients are quite simple. We got some olive oil, some garlic, some ginger, some fresh chili, but you can use dry chili if you don't have any. Some Spanish onion. I use Spanish onion because it brings some sweetness to the dish, but you don't have to. If you don't have it, just use brown onion. Remember, cooking should be easy. Make it easy for yourself, okay? We got some fresh salmon, and I will give you a trick about the salmon if you can't afford it, if it's too expensive, or if you don't have it. I use some passata. Obviously, I use the Bitton tomato sauce. Sorry about that. A bit of advertising here. Fresh coriander, and that's it. So I'm going to demonstrate how we cook that. It's very simple, and I hope you enjoy it. So the story of that dish is quite funny because I remember when I tried this dish, as I said before, probably 30 years ago when I met my wife. We went to a nightclub and it was midnight. We went to a mom and dad's place, and Mrs. Singh, I still call her Mrs. Singh 30 years later, she cooked that salmon chutney, and I'm thinking she's putting the onion and the garlic and the ginger, and she started cooking and get a tin of salmon in a tin and cook it, put the sauce, and just we eat it with bread. And it was a great snack. Spicy, tasty, and easy. And I guess MAGIMIX make it even more easy to have this kind of dish once a week with the kids. Salmon is good for you. It's no cream, it's no butter, it's not your typical French dish here. I'm just taking this dish to another level. Mrs. Singh, yes, I know you don't believe it, but I think I make it better, okay? So, and also the difference here is I'm using fresh salmon. As I said before, if you can't afford it, if you can't find it, if it's too expensive, just use a tin, and I will tell you when to put the tin of salmon rather than steaming the fish now, okay? Are you ready? Because I'm ready and I'm starving. It's lunchtime, it's 12 o'clock sharp. Let's do it. So what makes this dish easy is MAGIMIX. You can actually chop. You're going to chop, you're going to saute, you're going to cook, and then we're going to steam. So I'm just going to get started here. So I put some fresh garlic, a couple of garlic cloves here. I've got some Spanish onion. Okay. I put some ginger and fresh chili. Okay, but if you don't have fresh chili, you can use some dry chili, and you can put the quantity depending on how you like the heat. And I'm just going to blend it here. Again, remember, it just does everything. Here I just can stop for safety. As soon as you turn the lid, the robot stops turning and chopping. And then you use your spatula. Again, the MAGIMIX spatula is nice because you can go actually in the corners, okay? And I'm just going to bring it down just to make sure that everything's going to be chopped evenly, okay? And again, ready to start again. So now it's 1 minute, maybe 45 seconds. It really doesn't matter if it's a full minute, you could have maybe stopped a little bit early, but 1 minute is fine, okay? And I've got a nice chopped ingredients here. And what I'm going to do next is put some olive oil, and I'm going to saute the ingredients slowly. So we're going to start sweating. So now that my ingredients have been chopped, obviously the fume of the onion may make you cry. And one of the secrets is if you start crying, you just go to the tap water, you run some cold water, and you pretend to wash your hands, okay? And by doing that, the cold water It has an effect to your blood circulation and you stop crying immediately, okay? So for chefs that do maybe 5-10 kilo of onions, we walk into the cold room and suddenly the cold air makes you stop crying. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring back everything down, and I'm going to incorporate the olive oil. Okay, and I'm going to set the MAGIMIX Cook Expert to saute slowly these ingredients. I'm going to take off the lid so the film can come out. Okay, so now that all the ingredients have been chopped, so remember we got the Spanish onion, the garlic, the ginger, the chili. I incorporate the olive oil, and we're going to saute at 120 degrees for 3 minutes. Okay, so that means the onion is going to saute off slowly, and it's going to start sweating, and that's very important. You cannot cook a chutney with raw onion at the beginning. Okay, like everything, you need to saute your ingredients first and then incorporate the rest of the ingredients. So here what we're going to do is, imagine we saute the ingredients here, and then I got my little basket like a steamer, so you can do some dancing, you can do all these kind of things. But here I got a little tray, I put it into the steamer, I just lightly brush it with a little bit of olive oil just so I don't want to stick. And what I did here is I got some fresh salmon. So you can, if it's only for you and your partner, you can put 2 bigger pieces. Here is for the kids, for my wife and I. So I put little pieces that I'm going to just place here, okay? And it doesn't matter really how it is, okay? Just like that. And then that's going to be ready, not doing anything. Up, I got my little basket of smoked salmon. I'm going to put it to cook once I'm going to start my chutney, okay? And you're going to see it's bulletproof. It works every time, once a week. You got your meal already organized with some beautiful crusty bread. And what I do is I finish with coriander. We don't use coriander much in France, okay? And I think this is a beautiful herb that works very well with chutney dishes, okay? I hope you enjoy it. Look at that, the steam's coming out. I love the smell of onions and garlic and ginger and chili. This is the base for any good spicy food, especially Indian food or even Malaysian food. This is the best to use, okay? And then you can use some different spices as well. If you don't like a salmon, you can use another fish, but you gotta be careful what fish you use because some of them will break apart too easily. Look at that here. And then I'm just gonna bring back everything, and you can see all is nicely sauté off now, and I'm going to incorporate my beautiful Bitton tomato sauce. Sorry, you can use any passata, okay? But that's obviously a nice tomato sauce that we make, and I'm just going to pour it. Look at the color of it, so just rinse it a little bit, and voila. Now I'm going to put the salt. Okay. So now I put the tomato sauce, the seasoning, and I'm going to press. And I'm going to cook this chutney now for 15 minutes. But after 5 minutes, I'm going to open the lid, put the steamer, the salmon inside, and cook for a further 10 minutes. What I might do is 1 or 2 minutes before the finishing time, I'm going to check it out that it's not overcooked, check my chutney that is tasty, doesn't need any seasoning, and that's it. Okay? So now we're going to cook slowly the chutney first for 5 minutes. I'm going to put now the salmon on the top here. Hop, hopla, as we say in France, hopla, close it, and then just finish cooking for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to put the lid, so we're creating kind of a pressure cooker. It's not ready, and we're going to cook it for probably 8 to 10 minutes. I'm probably going to look at it at 8 minutes time to make sure it's not overdone, and that's it. And then your chutney will be ready, and we're going to do a special things at the end. So you remember I said 2 minutes before, just check, okay, to make sure that first you don't overcook it. But look at this steam here. And what I do is I just touch the salmon, you know, you got have a little bit of resistance, but you want it to be soft. And you can see there's a bit of like the milk of the salmon is coming out, okay? And for me, that's perfect because when we're going to put, you got 2 choices here. You can put the salmon into the chutney and just give a quick round, okay? Or because I'm a chef, I want to present the dish and I want it to make it exciting. You eat with your eyes first, okay? So for me, the salmon is ready here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it off. All right. I might get actually a plate which I should have been organized. Okay. Okay, take it up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to position the fish into the tray here, okay? That's one of the best kitchen utensils ever, a fish slicer. Obviously, MAGIMIX is more important, okay? But chefs love fish slicers, okay? Because it's very, very easy to use, flexible. Here, as you can see, I position the salmon into like a kind of a baking tray, like a serving tray. I use my hand. This is home, okay? If you don't feel comfortable, you can wear gloves or you can wear a utensil. This is for my house, so I'm okay with that. Here I got my chutney. I'm actually just try again, just in case. You got the pieces of onions, you got the spice, the salt. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to position the sauce onto the salmon. You want to be generous, you know, because you want your bread, your salmon, and the sauce keep cooking the salmon, you remember? So it's why you don't want to already overcook it. And always tastes better the next day. If you got any leftover, nothing wrong with that. And I'm just going to put some fresh coriander. Okay. And you got a beautiful salmon chutney with some beautiful, I use some baguette today, but you can use some crusty country bread style sourdough bread. And here you just get your bread, you take it, and what you do is, just gonna try. Sorry, Mrs. Singh, this is 200 times better. Bon appetit, hope you enjoy the class. And next time be ready, we're going to do some French crepes, savory and sweet. Au revoir.